Welcome back everyone, Meanpooh here, and today I'll show you the steps to enable undervolting on your Dell G5 5500 laptop. By default, the machine is not able to be undervolted because of the exploit being patched. Before we begin, you will need some software that can be downloaded, and all of this is free. The list of software is Universal BIOS Backup Toolkit 2.0, UEFITool, IFR Extractor LS version 0.3, grubx64.efi, and you're going to need a flash drive with at least 1 GB of space. And I'm pretty sure that a drive with only 500 megabytes will work as well. With that out of the way, we need to right click on Universal BIOS Backup Toolkit 2.0 and run as administrator. You'll get an error saying that it can't identify the BIOS, and at this point you can either quit or proceed at your own risk. Now go ahead and click OK and put a check in the white square on the top right of the program. Since I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, I'm going to choose 16,384K. If you have 8 gigabytes of RAM, choose 8,192K, and so forth. Choose the read button, and after a minute or so, it will finish. Now click Backup and save it to a location. I saved mine to a folder called Dump. Next, open UEFITool. When you get to the menu, go to File, Open Image File, and then locate your BIOS dump that you previously made. In here you should see a collapsed structure, and if you open it, you will see some other text and locations. For now, let's head to the menu and go to Action and click Search. You could also use the shortcut Control F. When the search menu appears, make sure that the text column is selected. Let's search for the term overclock. Let's see what we can get. Okay, still not what we're looking for. The section we're looking for is pretty much buried. If you had a lot of time, you would eventually find it by looking in the trees, but searching is a whole lot faster. So let's try searching for overclocking lock. Okay, here we go. Overclocking lock is found at this location. Double-click the highlighted text in blue. The tree will open up and reveal the location. What we need is the parent of this section, which is located just above with setup in the text column. It's like right here. Again, if you manually did this, it would take forever. Anyway, right click on the line that is highlighted in blue and select Extract as is. Again, I saved my file in the dump folder. When you are finished saving, close the program. Now let's open IFR Extractor. Under Module Location, locate the file we just saved. Once you have it loaded, click Extract. You will now have a text file with the same name. You can now close the program because we can read it now. If you ever modified your DVD drive for your Xbox back in the day, you may find some of this familiar. The text file will allow you to see the offsets and whether certain features are enabled in the BIOS or not. You can make a copy of your file if you would like, just in case you accidentally change something. Now let's search for overclocking lock again. Here we can see the overclocking lock that has a var offset of 0xDA and a var store of 0x3. Right above we see the CFG lock that has a var offset of 0x3E and a var store of 0x3. the same as overclocking lock. Now, according to the info under each section, we need to replace the var offset to 0x0 to change from enabled to disabled for both. Before we head out, we know that the var offsets need to be changed to 0x0 for both, and the var store ID is 0x3. We also looked up the CPU setup to confirm. You can now close the file. You do not have to save or anything, and this file was just used to see what the variables were and how to change them. Next, insert your USB drive and format it to the FAT32 file system. You can name the drive anything you would like. It will also help you not get it confused with any other drive you may have on your desk or in your storage compartment. When you are finished formatting, make a folder on the drive and label it EFI. Go inside that folder and make another folder and label it boot. Inside of that folder, we need to drop the grubx64.efi file inside. You will have to rename this to bootx64. Close any folders and eject your USB drive because we're finished with this part. Reboot your system and go into your BIOS by pressing F2. Disable secure boot in the boot configuration section. Now, after you applied the changes, you can either shut your machine down or you can go ahead and put your USB drive in now. When your machine reboots, hit F12. You will then click your USB drive located on the lower left of the screen of UEFI boot devices. So let's confirm to see if we can actually read it. And I'm going to try to type with one hand. All right, so here we go. Well, let's see if it can read. So it successfully read it. So we know the USB drive is working. And it's saying that my offset 0x3E is set to 0x00, which means that it is truly disabled because I've already done this before. So now, to do it for real, we need to go down, and you want to pretty much do the same thing. Now, go ahead and type setup_var, CPU setup, and now we are going to type in the offset, which will be 0x3A. And then you want to set it to 0x0. And then you want to hit enter. And let's see what happens. So it set that. So the next one will be setup_var, CPU setup 0x3E, and we want to change it to 0x0 and hit enter. All right, so it looks like it wrote. Now you're finished. Then all you have to do is to remove your USB drive, reboot back into your BIOS, enable secure boot, and going back into Windows, you should be able to undervolt. That reboot might work. Yes. And then enable that back, hit apply changes, confirm, yes. and exit. If you skipped a step, make sure you go back and enable secure boot in your BIOS. And if you have already done that and you're in Windows, go ahead and download Throttle Stop or Intel XTU. And with that said, you're finished. You're all complete. If this video helped you, feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, Meanpooh out.